Hi, I'm Michelle from Michelle's Romantic Tangle, and I'm going to share with you the treasures that my daughter and I found at the Hillsboro, Oregon Goodwill outlets. The trip to Portland was to search the thrift stores for a dress for me to wear at my daughter's wedding, and I knew that I wasn't going to find one in the bins, probably, but it was still fun to come and look. And if we are in the neighborhood, I'm not letting the opportunity pass by. I really like this portrait, and I'm probably going to be haunted by him. The glass was all broken, but the picture itself and the frame were amazing. Like that one too. They had these pictures packed in so tightly that I couldn't really flip through and see what else was in there, which is a shame because there might have been more treasures, but I've said before I don't have the wall space for all the things I would love to bring home. This Van Gogh scene, that is on the back of the frame, and now I really wish I had looked at the front to see what they thought was more important than it was. Grandma had a tea cart like this one, except hers hadn't been painted bright yellow and hadn't had the legs lopped off. So that was a temptation that was a little bit easy to resist. I am rapidly developing a fixation with these old fashioned school desks. I have found them. I think the beat up one I found at Salvation Army was $100. This one here was $3 and it was in amazing condition, but I knew there was no way it was going to fit into the back of my daughter's Volkswagen, and I had no place at home to put it, so I left it. This fainting couch, or whatever the proper term is, we did not leave that behind because my daughter fell in love, so she bought it, and I drove up the next day with my husband's pickup to bring it back home because what's another 200-mile round trip when it comes to cheap antique furniture? My oldest son fell in love with this stereo console. If he had a place of his own, we probably would have been measuring and Tetrising to see if it could fit in the truck with the couch, which I doubt. And these things are everywhere and they are always cheap. So I know that there will be one in his future. I have had these in my past. I remember playing my Disney records on ours when I was a little kid, and now I guess that there's going to be one in my future when I go visit my son at his place someday. They are fun. I can understand his attraction to them. And if I had extra space to fill in our house, I would probably bring one home. Let's be realistic about that. I cannot walk by a sewing machine table without opening it to see if there's a machine. There was one in there, but I held the camera at the wrong angle to get it, and honestly, it was a 1960s pinkish, probably a singer. Nothing really special or exciting. That white cabinet looks like it has potential for someone somewhere, and look at this. Look at the woodwork, look at the finish, look at the detail, and that it still has all of its drawers. I tried to turn the wheel and I also dropped my camera and drew attention to filming discreetly until you drop your camera. I caught it before it hit the concrete. The machine still has its bobbin assembly in there. No one has stolen it for $35. That is an amazing deal, but I've got two treadles at home already. Something else I've never seen in the bins, an overhead projector. I don't need one. And then we did look through the clothes because we were supposedly, hypothetically, on that trip to find a dress. This one looks very similar to the bridesmaids' dresses at my wedding, and my daughter was so horrified. Thought it was Sasquatch, but it's not. Zombie shirt, but in the wrong size. If I had a daughter, that would be adorable little pants with embroidered fruit. I found this houndstooth skirt, and then at the other end of the store found the matching jacket, so I had to go back and dig out the skirt so they could be next to each other so someone can love their vintageness, and I'm sure there is somewhere out there for that. It is always fun to dig through the bins and find things that you didn't know you need or that you didn't know anybody needed. I saw this little wooden shelf in someone's cart and found its twin about 5 minutes later, but convinced myself I didn't need it. We also stopped at Red, White, and Blue. I always wind up looking at the glasses and finding ones that remind me of my childhood. There was Merrimack Cheese and Lord Krull from a Star Trek movie that I never saw, but we had the glasses. I think that was a Taco Bell promotion back in the day. Always looking at the mugs, even though I never buy any. Someday I will find something that strikes my fancy that I have to bring home. Love looking at the piggy banks for the same reason. It's just fun to go through the bric-a-brac. And sometimes you do find something that for whatever reason speaks to you and has to come home and join your life. Nothing on this trip did make it home with me, at least not in the bric-a-brac. And I love these birds with their long tails. They are amazing. I did find a dress for my daughter's wedding here at Red, White, and Blue. It still has its tags on it from the original store, so I am calling it a new dress. That brown, ugly Vision Wear Pyrex, we got it for our wedding, and I've been seeing that stuff at estate sales for stupid prices. So if mine is up in the attic and it's not too terribly chipped, I'm going to sell it because I never did like it. And I'm much happier with my vintage Pyrex. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Michelle from Michelle's Romantic Tangle, and I'll be back with you soon.